guys, this is Razor Gaming with a new video. You may notice my microphone is different. It's because I've got a new headset, the Rakat Cave. And today we're going to do a video of aerobatics in the Lancair Legacy by Real Air in Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. So you can see me here. I'm turning on the aircraft. If you want to skip to the takeoff, just go to 320. I was just going to do an average aerobatic flight around this airbase on the top of Oahu, which is the main island of Hawaii, which seemed like a cool place to do it. So I thought I'd just turn it on. So this is me starting up the aircraft. Again, this is kind of like a full video. I didn't cut this because, you know, it's sort of a lot of flight simulator people might like all this startup procedure kind of stuff. So yeah, if you want to skip, go to 320 anyway. So here I am just putting the mixture up in the engines so we can start it. It's a very easy aircraft to start up. I've learnt it off by heart really, mostly. So here we go, starting the propeller now, and off it goes. So yes, it's a really good add-on. The graphics are amazing, the sound's amazing. It sort of reacts to everything you do. Like if you lower the flaps, it slows down. It's a really good add-on to have. It is payware, but it's really good. So right now we're off going. I'm just checking the engines, just making sure everything's, checking the flaps as well. That's what I'm doing down there. The bottom, the switch at the bottom right of the panel controls the flaps, and let's go. So there we go, just moving off now. And originally I actually just done titles, captions instead of actual live commentary because I thought the actual live commentary would have been a bit annoying. But after my Movie Maker kind of crashed and I lost all the subtitles, which has really annoyed me. I didn't want to do it again. They were really good, but I didn't want to do it again, so I just ended up doing live commentary. And here I am, just checking both ways. I have got traffic enabled, but it's only 5%, so it's very unlikely any planes going to land here. If they did, they'd announce it anyway. But either way, we're about to take off, and it's just following procedure as well. This is single player, by the way. And throughout this clip, I was getting about 30 FPS. Flight Simulator X, if you don't know, is pretty much a killer for any computer. It's based on sort of kind of old unoptimized code, which is good for the time, but it's not really now, so it can't really take the advantage of modern hardware. Modern hardware such as quad cores, multi-cores, graphics cards. It can't take advantage of that, so it is limited. And I've tweaked this to hell to get 30 FPS, and I put an EMB on as well because the game doesn't use the graphics cards, so you can use the graphics cards for recording, which I've done here, and also for visual effects like I've done with the EMB, which just makes the colours look better. So I'm hoping this microphone is better than the other one, by the way. It was around the same price headset. What actually happened to my old headset is it lost sound in one ear, and this one is actually a proper 5.1 surround. It's not 7.1, but it's actual 5.1, so it actually has speakers rather than just simulated surround sound. Anyway, here we are. We've lined up on the runway. We need the whole runway to take off. So that's why I went all the way down the runway. So just putting the landing lights on, and then you'll see the throttle, there's the black knob I'm pushing in, and there we go, 310 horsepower of thrust down the runway, and off we go. We're going to take off. So normally you're supposed to pull up at about 90 knots in this plane. It has a faster takeoff rate than something like a Cessna or another general aviation because it is a monoplane. With quite a small wing compared to those, and it's more of a high performance plane, so it takes a while longer to take off. So I lifted off a bit early. You can see I didn't get that much lift. First of all, the interesting thing with this plane is the angle of attack. The angle of attack meter you can see on the left hand side of the panel with the red, orange, and green, amber if you want to call it that. But that's really useful, and it sort of tells me that this is meant to be an aerobatic aircraft to a certain extent. It's sort of a hybrid between a general aviation and aerobatic aircraft. So yeah, I'm just getting some more speed and altitude up before we come for the first manoeuvre. Here we go, turning for the first manoeuvre now. This is really fun to fly though. I mean, when I got the Steam Edition, before I kind of went off Flight Simulator X because I got bored with the flying. I thought I had to correct all the time, and it just got a bit boring. But then I got Flight Simulator Steam Edition, which is much later. I actually got this in sale at the weekend, and I've been really impressed with it. The performance is better than the boxed version. I also had Prepare 3D before then, but you know I didn't bother with that very much because I had to reinstall Windows. Anyway, we're going to start the first spin now. First barrel roll. So we're just turning a bit, and then as soon as I bank left again, we're going to start a roll to the right. So we're going to start a right roll. Here we go. This is non-live commentary, by the way, if you've guessed that already, because I didn't want to ruin it with live commentary. Then another roll to the right again, and then we do 2 more left rolls. Again, I'm not experienced with aerobatic manoeuvres. You see, often I don't push forward on the stick when I do the roll, and I end up pointing downwards. That one was a good one. That was a good roll, but the other lot, yeah, I need to practice with my rolls and stuff. But this aircraft is just a great all-round performer. Earlier on, I did a performance. Here we go to loop, by the way, loop-de-loop. I did a flight from Alderney, and it worked really well to Alderney, you know, the island in the channel, and it worked really well. It's just great over-round, really good aircraft. So here's my roll. You can see I almost stalled. If you saw my airspeed, I really almost stalled in that roll. I could have just lost it there, but I didn't. Thankfully, it's a very forgiving aircraft. Oh, some trivia, by the way. This is actually a stock aircraft. You didn't know already. This is a kit aircraft, so it's not actually you know, sold. I don't think so. I think it's kind of like it's built by hobbyists. I'm not sure about this. Someone had to correct me, but as far as I know, it's a kit aircraft. So people just build it. You have to build it yourself. You don't get it pre-built. You don't buy it pre-built. And that'd be quite fun, you know. I wouldn't mind doing something like that because I'm kind of a technical person. You know, I know a lot about computers, quite a bit about engineering, so you know that would be quite a fun thing to do. Difficult, yes. So you see there, I just did my low pass of the runway because they do that in aerobatic maneuvers or air shows sometimes. Well, I'm going to come back around and then I'm going to do the inverted flying, which is the kind of the really hard one. I was actually going. I'll tell you in a minute, but I was actually going to trim for the inverted because I was knowing I had to push up more. You do when you're inverted because the lift is upside down, so you have to keep pushing forward on the stick, otherwise your plane will just tunnel into the ground. But I didn't want to trim here because when I turned back around, you'd think the trim would be all off and it would sort of cause you to crash. I wouldn't recommend trimming when inverted, not a good idea. But here we go. See, I'm quite used to flying inverted in a lot of simulators. It's sort of a thing I like to show off with. No hate, please. It's quite fun to do. As you can see, I was looking up there. If you had like a 3D TV watching this, it's going to be quite nauseating. So I'm sorry if I made you throw up. I will provide a sick bag. Just email me. I'm joking, of course. But yeah, a bit of banter there. So we're coming back around again, and I think this time, if I can remember when I recorded it, this time we're going to be doing the hammerhead manoeuvre. Now, I don't mean the hammerhead from Top Gear. I mean the hammerhead, for those of you who know, where we get close. I'm getting some speed up first, and then we're going to go really high up, cut the throttle, and then basically your left or your, I think your left, and sort of turn out of that stall. I do actually deliberately stall the aircraft here. Again, for those of you who don't know the flight sim knowledge, because I know a lot of my subscribers are not really aviation knowledge as far as I know, it just basically means you stop it so your plane does not get any lift anymore, stall. So there we go. See, I lost the aircraft there. It wasn't a perfect hammerhead because I sort of dipped down before yawing. In a perfect hammerhead, you're supposed to yaw directly to the left, and that should work. Now here's the interesting part of the video you probably clicked on it for, which is the crash landing bit, which is in the title, of course. Now this bit is a funny thing because it was my stupidity that caused this. I originally thought, for something in my brain thought, when I was coming for this approach, which you'll see in a minute, something in my brain thought that I'd actually put the landing gear down. I don't know, because there's a lot of noises that actually happen, and I normally use a noise to determine what I'm doing in the simulator. I'm not much of an instrument person. I can use instruments, but I'm not much of an instrument person, so I only use a noise. And these this add-on is very good with noises to tell you what happens. So when the air brake comes out, you hear a loud click, and when the flaps decrease, you'll hear a loud sort of click as well. And it's quite good to use that anyway. But I didn't look at my instruments here, and I thought I'd lowered the gear because it creates more of a wind effect, but it was actually my flaps. As you can see, I did actually track my flaps a bit after lowering them because they were flapping, and this has a simulation effect where if you lower the flaps too early, if you lower the flaps while you're going too fast, then they'll actually shear off. So I was trying not to do that, but I didn't check my gear lever, which is like the worst mistake any pilot can make. And I was actually coming for a landing. I thought actually, because I was coming too high and too fast, I thought I'm going to leave it as a touch and go. But either way, I was not getting off this runway, as you'll see in a minute, because I completely forgot my gear. And I had no idea. I thought my gear was down because I was being an idiot. And look what happens. Kablam. And there goes my, I don't know how expensive they are, like £2 million, no, £250,000 airplane. It just shut off the engine because I thought, oh well. But yeah, that didn't end exactly as I expected. I remember when I first recorded this, I was like, oh my god, why did I do this? I was like, oh, do I have to seriously record the whole thing again? And I thought, no, it'd be funny to put this in. It would really be funny, just like a funny twist at the end. So yeah, I was like in a bit of shock here right now. So then I was just thought, I might as well shut down my aircraft officially if I've stopped here. You know, no one's gonna care. Let's just turn off all the lights, turn off all the avionics, and there we go. And then we just had to open the canopy. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been Razor Dark Gaming. Hope you enjoyed this video, a bit different to the others. And like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you, thanks for watching, and goodbye.